1925 that Le Creuset made their first piece of enamel cast iron. Now 100 years later, still proudly made in France. I visited there in June and saw them make it. This is shepherd's pie, ready to be served right alongside. What have we here? Oh, green beans, almondine, and maybe some delicious shepherd's pie, roasted chicken, acorn squash, French fries. You've got pot roast, you've got braised beef short ribs, you've got something delicious in here, and you're wondering and worrying about the weight. This has a glass lid, and that glass lid not only can go into hot temperatures in your oven, but it also keeps the weight of the overall piece down, particularly when you have food in it. This is an extraordinary piece, and it's 3 3/4 quarts, and for the day, 10,000 have been ordered. Now follow me, we're going to take you shopping for colors because there are a rainbow of colors, including the one that is exclusive to QVC that you don't only find here. That's called mauve pink. I brought in 2,500. Only 600 left that can ship out right now. This is mauve pink. It's got that sand-colored enamel on the inside, glass lid on the top, and it's oven safe, chef to 485 degrees. Thank you. Then we have what I collect, the cerise. Most popular in this show. Cerise is the French word for cherry. Then we have Marseille. Then we have sea salt. 1,200 in the sea salt. This is artichoke. Don't forget, we also have white. We don't do white very often. I have 870 available that can ship out right now in the white. Here's the oyster. Brought in 2,400. I have 700 that can ship out right now. And in the flame, we have fewer than 600 that can ship out right now. And here are the 6 recipe cards that come along with it, color recipe cards that are made just for this vessel. Now, if you're wondering what kind of value this represents, now, if you were to go to retail to try to buy all this separately, $279.95, call that 280 bucks. We are at $219.98, but wait, there's more. Everything in the cook and the food category is free ship all day today, thanks to our Now You're Cooking Day. So now you're saving another $14.47. Wait, there's more. You apply for a Q card and get approved, and we instantly take another 50 bucks, 50. 50 bucks off your price. Now your today's special value is coming in at $169.98. This is an extraordinary day, a wonderful today's special value, the kind of generational cookware that you're going to pass down to future generations of cooks in your family. And half of the quantity that we can ship out right now is already gone. Wow. Chef Nate Collier is back with us. How are you, sir?
David, it's great to be back, and I love this because, number one, you're getting everything we've been known for 100 years. The heat retention of cast iron for beautiful flavor, the easy release and easy maintenance of our proprietary enamel, the locking the lid in and the moisture retention for tender results. But look at this profile of this vessel. This is our 3 3/4 quart Cassadou. As you can see, it's deeper than your traditional saute pan and skillet, but a little bit shallower than a Dutch oven. You've got the stick handle on one side for easy maneuvering around the stove, plus a wide helper handle on the other side for going in and out of the oven or all the way to the table. And again, this cook and look tempered glass lid that can seal in heat, moisture, but is lighter weight than our cast iron. So all in all, this is one of the most versatile vessels that we make because of that combination of shape. But here's what we really want to know about. Does the food taste good? Is it tender? Is it delicious? Does it make you want to cook some more? And it does. We've got this chicken cacciatore here, which of course, we'll talk about what that hunter term means in the name for Cassadou, but look at how easily this just rips right apart, right in the vessel, tender, shredded chicken thighs. You could do ossobuco, lamb shanks. We'll show short ribs in here.
They call this hunter stew, chicken cacciatore.
You got that exactly right, because whatever you got that day, if it was an older game bird or something, you need the wide surface area to get the browning. You need the lid to lock it in and cook it tender. You're going to add whatever veg came up that day, much like a Brunswick stew in the South. This is such an amazing vessel because you can do all of those things that I just talked about on your stovetop or in the oven.
And then top pasta with the chicken cacciatore.
You got it here, David. And again, this doesn't look like that big of a vessel, but this 3 3/4 quarts could feed easily 4 to 6 people's worth of this chicken cacciatore right here. Save some of it shredded up to put over rice. You could put this over polenta, or just like you're doing there. Tell me how shredded and tender and delicious the chicken is when it comes out of this vessel.
It falls apart in your mouth. This is
That's all you need to say. And that is the heat retention of the cast iron. It's our proprietary enamel releasing all of that brown flavor, and it's the lid. Even though it's our glass lid, it still locks in the same moisture, flavor, and tenderness of our cast iron lids, but it gives you a lighter weight.
Oh, this is extraordinary opportunity. And if you are making a pot roast, a braised beef short rib, whatever the case may be, what you're wanting to do is create that beautiful flavor on the outside of the short rib.
Look at that beautiful browning on the short rib, David. And this is something that is only possible with a material like cast iron. Because as I've mentioned, nothing retains heat like cast iron. So if you put these in a thinner pan, it's either gonna get cold and you're gonna get steamed, gray, lifeless meat that's tough and boiled, or you're gonna have to sit there turning the temperature up and down and up and down to try and maintain it. Nothing retains heat like cast iron, and that is the first step into getting those beautiful, delicious braised and stewed foods, when the rich, deep flavor is browning the meat and your mirepoix and your vegetables on the bottom of the pan to develop that flavor. And look at how beautiful this is. Even on the bottom of the pan there, I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato product. We got some tomato paste here. You could use tomato sauce, you could use chopped tomatoes. Cook this down with the mirepoix in the bottom. That's gonna help deglaze it, but you can also see it's starting to cook the tomatoes into more of a rusty color. That's when you know you're cooking off the raw tomato, you're getting that beautiful, delicious tomato flavor and adding richness to it. And then here's the second part. You've developed all this flavor. You've built the brown flavor on your meat and on your veg. You've got your tomato product cooking in the bottom. A little bit of red wine.
Provides the acid to break down the meat even further, but also help you deglaze the pan.
You got that right. So deglazing is the next step. Here's my spoon here. We've got the flavor going with the heat retention of the cast iron and the beautiful browning. And then look at the bottom of the vessel now. It's pure, clean. All of that brown flavor is now released from our sand enamel, and it's in your sauce. So not only do you not have to wash that out at the end when you're done, but you're building a beautiful, rich brown gravy. If you're doing a chuck roast, if you're doing lamb shanks, this is going to be the same process. Thank you, David. A little bit of aromatic herbs, a cinnamon stick. I love that in my short ribs and chili. It just adds a little bit of lovely winter warm spice to it.
And then some, in this case, it looks like chicken broth.
That's chicken stock. You could use beef stock. We talked about using beer, even soda sometimes if you want to braise short ribs in it. You only want to go about halfway or 2/3 up the top.
Coffee sometimes is a nice braising liquid.
With a Guinness stew even also. And so this is going to come up and create that sauce. You don't want to stew this. You want to braise it. It's going to get nice and thick. And then here's the last part. The lip on our glass lid here has the same precision milled construction that our cast iron lids have. So that's going to lock in the flavor. It's going to lock in the moisture, but it allows you to look to see what's going on. It allows your guests to look to see what's inside the vessel that they're serving from without taking it off and releasing all that heat. And it's lighter weight than a cast iron lid. So if you're somebody that's worried about the weight of cast iron, moving around your stove, moving it to the oven, you're gonna get a little bit less weight with this glass lid. And because of the combination of the stick handle, the wide surface area, and the helper handle, it's very easy to maneuver around. It's very stable. It's not a deep, tall vessel that's gonna get filled up with heavy stew.
So let's do a little presto change, Joe.
Let's do that, David.
And I'm going to grab one out of the oven here, but I'm going to make sure that I don't burn myself.
Perfect.
And use the towel and bring this right over to the stove.
Thank you, David. You just drop it right there in the corner.
Perfect.
And I can already see through that Cook and Look lid how delicious those short ribs look. We're gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna take just these tongs, and I'll give David, I can smell that cinnamon again.
I smell it too.
At how this meat just shreds right off the bone. Look at how tender and delicious this is. You could come in here with a spoon. There's no fork and knife needed. Here, David, I'll give you a little bit on this plate here. And look at how easily that shredded. Perfect idea. I'm gonna get the risotto going, and we're gonna serve this right over top of that. But this is the secret. Once you've built your flavor, that lid and the cast iron are gonna lock everything in for that beautiful, tender, delicious, fall apart, stick to your ribs comfort food. But that's not the only thing this vessel can do. You can do everyday meals with this as well.
Fall, winter, cold weather cooking. Oh my word, it's gonna be huge. And well over half gone, and what we can ship out right now is gone. In fact, for the show, for the day, 10,300 are gone. In the show alone, over 2,700 are spoken for. This is mauve pink. Brought in 2,500 for the day. 600 left that can ship out right now. This is cerise, most popular in this show. Then we have Marseille, only 1,600 available. Then we have it for you in sea salt, fewer than 1,200. Artichoke, available. Here's the white, 850 in the white. If you want oyster, brought in 2,400. 650, and that's our second most popular choice. And finally, flame. 1,400. We have 550 left, and it comes with 6 recipes that are uniquely designed for this vessel. If you were to go to retail to buy this separately, you'd be looking at $279.95. Let's call that 280 bucks. We are at $219.98. And wait, there's more. There's free shipping and handling because everything is on free ship in the cooking and food category on Now Your Cooking Day. So you're saving another $14.47. But wait, there's more yet. If you apply for and get approved for a credit card, we instantly take another $50 off your price, making your today's special value $169.98. This is an extraordinary day. And I, back in June, got to take the trip of a lifetime.
You sure did. How fun was that?
Took a trip to France to see these pieces being made and
Eat
to
some
taste a little
croissants.
local culture and to stay in one town over because there are no hotels where the factory is located. But this is actually the pieces being made.
It is, David. You can see the molten cast iron going into the black sand molds, which are each one broken apart for every single vessel. So truly one-of-a-kind pieces. The ground coat enamel going on here. We're getting walked through the polishing as well. 16 different pairs of craftsmen's hands touch every single piece that comes through the factory, from molding to polishing to taking all the burrs off to the enameling, the ground coat, the colored enamel, the interior enamel. It's inspected before it gets the sticker and the orange box because you want to know that the quality is there. And we're just watching on the screen here because I loved hugging the product when I was there. And David, of course, when we walked into that warehouse, and it is floor to ceiling Le Creuset in there.
Floor to ceiling.
To see. I love watching that at home.
Now, you'll notice that Chef is not working on screaming high heat. He doesn't need to, because the vessel will distribute the heat very nicely. He's making a risotto that has asparagus, shallots in there.
It's shallots, and I do like a little lemon. Sometimes I do horseradish in the risotto because those short ribs or the chicken thighs are going to be really rich, and you want something bright to try and cut that richness a little bit. So you can see here, we've got a nice simmer going on. We're thickening up the risotto here. That liquid is going to start to get absorbed into the rice, and I love the wide surface area and shape of this vessel for doing just this. You could do fried rice in here, but the stirring factor with the depth is amazing because you get one even layer of the risotto. It's going to cook all the way evenly through, and you've got a wide enough area to keep stirring and get that liquid absorbed in there, holding your heat constant the entire time.
Now, while that's happening, this is cooled enough to where I can taste the short rib, and it is extraordinary when you realize that these are so tender and melt in your mouth and perfect. We're going to come back to, here we go. This is the short rib, the braised beef short rib.
Pretty good.
I taste the cinnamon. Wow, is that good.
And David, I know you're a fan of those and you make them all the time. And so when you're cooking short ribs at home, what material do you normally cook with when you're making short ribs?
I almost always use my Le Creuset.
Always.
Always, because this is going to be the best conductor of heat. I cook them low and slow. I cook them at about 300 degrees for about 3 to 4 hours. And I put the mirepoix inside, the red wine, the beef broth, all of it. It's just lovely. And I usually serve mine over cauliflower mash.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. You could do it over polenta, mashed potatoes, noodles, orzo, anything like that. But this is not just for low and slow cooking. This is for breakfast. This is for desserts. This is for baking. We've got this sweet potato and sausage hash going here right on the stovetop. Browned our sausage, browned our peppers, got the sweet potatoes going in there. And we're just gonna nestle some eggs right on top of this. You could do this with some tomatoes and peppers to make more of a Mediterranean shakshuka in there. This is going to start to cook, but here's where a little bit more of the magic happens as well with the glass lid, because again, of this lip right here that's going to lock in the steam and lock in the flavor just on low on the stovetop. This is going to come through and have enough heat to cook those eggs. You can walk this to the table when they're set and people will just serve themselves right out of here. No need to worry about